The Trump pump is back, mi amigos. We have 3 things to talk about, but don't you worry because they all relate to our golden ticket going to Tendie Town. Numero uno. I want to talk about Palantir, which just clocked in a new all-time high after crushing earnings. And I want to share some thoughts on why I think it's going to keep pumping higher and higher and higher. Numero dos. I want to talk about how China and really President Xi Jinping is absolutely terrified of Donald Trump and his tariffs, and why I think this whole situation is going to send the overall market to a new all-time high. And number treso, at the end of the video, have a little bit of a surprise ticker that I want to show you some interesting data on, because I think there's a very good trade setup right now brewing, so don't miss that. But before we get into all of it, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. That helps me with all the engagement and that type of stuff, gets this video served to other people, so truly appreciate it. With that being said, let's rock. The world's largest casino just officially closed on the day, and at the time of closing, here was the headline. S&P 500 and Nasdaq closed higher as traders look past Trump tariff shakeup. I just want to throw this in here, and you probably saw this in the live show. For those of you who don't know, Monday to Friday, 9 to 11, we do a live show where not only are we covering all the major news and sharing thoughts and opinions and yelling about this, that, and the other thing, we're also degenerately trading. So if you want to join in on the fun, I hope to see you there. Once again, Monday to Friday, 9 to 11. It's wherever you're watching this video right now. Anyway, in those videos and the streams and the news, we've been covering how the market is clearly overreacting all this because we've been through this song and dance before. Everyone freaks out about tariffs. The other countries do exactly what Trump wants them to do, and then the markets bounce back. And surprise, surprise, that's exactly what we saw today. The SPY gaining a nice 0.7%. The Q's up really actually an impressive 1.2%. Bitcoin hanging out around 98,000, and Palantir, which is where we're going to start the show today, gaining a blistering 24%. I know many of you watching this are fans of Palantir, and for good reason. PLTR is ripping off faces. Palantir soars 24% to record high as AI powers strong earnings and guidance. Now, I don't want to bore you with things that you've probably already heard, but here's the TLDR. It crushed on earnings. It's in a sector that's growing. It's highly respected within that sector, and they have the strong leadership team to continue to execute. This stock is nothing but higher highs and higher lows. If I were actively trading it, I'd play that trend, but I'm not. I'm invested in it, so I'll be in it for the next couple of decades. But as a swing trader, as long as that trend is intact, you stay in the position. Don't get out too early, because right now, this thing is soaring. Or to put that another way, you could say that this thing is breaking records. Palantir on track for its second biggest gain in history after announcing blowout earnings yesterday. I have the sneaky suspicion that this isn't going to be slowing down anytime soon. Definitely worth a place on your watch list. And now let's talk tariffs. Let's talk a trade war that actually became a drug war and really just meant a lot of volatility to both the downside and the upside if you're a degenerate zero DT trader like myself. But here's a quick recap. Trump pauses tariffs on Canada imports for 30 days after doing the same with Mexico. There was a lot of talk over the weekend, and then there were some phone calls on Monday. Both of our neighboring countries, Canada and Mexico, sent soldiers to the border. Trump was happy, gave them a 30-day, I guess, grace period, and I bet within this month that they're gonna do exactly what he wants them to do. But that was just the start of the story, because there were some other countries named in this particular issue, if you will, and I'm talking about China. As we were sleeping, US President Trump's 10% tariff on Chinese goods officially takes effect. All right. Right away, minutes later, China struck back. China to impose 10% tariff on US oil and agricultural machinery. All right, that sounds like pretty intense, maybe. China retaliates with additional tariffs of up to 15% on select US imports starting February 10th. Now, I understand at this point, that sounds pretty severe. Sounds like we are once again raising the tensions, boiling over in the world of a potential trade war. And if you don't dive into the numbers, this might seem bad. You might be thinking,
hey man, at the start of the video, why did you say this was going to be good for the stock market? Why did you say that China was very quickly going to wave the white flag? Why did you say that this was an easy win for Trump?
Well, China, to be completely frank, is already signaling that Trump won. President Xi Jinping replied to Trump tariffs show China has more to lose, and they most certainly do. After the US leader gave a last-minute reprieve to both Canada and Mexico, his 10% tariffs on China took effect after midnight Washington time last night on Tuesday. Within 7 seconds, Beijing announced additional tariffs on roughly 80 products to take effect on February 10th, launched an antitrust investigation into Google, tightened export controls on critical minerals. Now, once again, I fully admit, this sounds like a big deal on the surface level, but as always, there's more things to dive into. And when you dive into it, you realize that for this particular situation, China is not a serious player. The swift but calculated retaliation signaled that Beijing had learned a lesson from the first trade fight with Trump when China retaliated with tariffs on par or close to what the US imposed. This time, Xi only put tariffs on $14 billion worth of American products, a sliver of what Trump targeted, while taking other measures that showed off China's ability to inflict further pain on the US companies if needed. So here's the TLDR. China knows in this particular fight, it's not a fair one. Right now, the US is coming in not only from a place of strength, but has extreme leverage, and on a relative basis, China's actually kind of in a very weak situation, which is why China is only putting tariffs on $14 billion worth of goods, while the US is doing $525 billion. So yes, are they all tariffs? Does it make good the headlines that people are going to overreact to? Without a doubt. But to add a little bit of clarity, the US daily interest payments on our debt is higher than all these tariffs from China. So I just want to be very clear that on a relative basis, it's small to many things going on in the US right now. So China has to, just to kind of save face a little bit, respond, get the headlines out there. But this is already very clearly going to go the way of Canada and Mexico. I don't know how long it's going to take, but here's the real thesis is as soon as it's announced that everything's a-okay, pretty much the way it went with Canada and Mexico, yeah, in the short term, you better bet on the market popping. And since we're already so close to all-time highs, I would in no way be surprised, especially if the S&P 500 does clocking a brand new high water mark. This leads us to the next logical question of when might this happen? Well, it got a little bit confusing today. White House spokesperson, no updates on when Trump-Xi call will take place, being scheduled and will happen very soon. So we got that 20 minutes into the market today and we're like, okay, that's reasonable. Kind of had the vibe of, oh, it'll happen this week. Then a little bit after that, Trump to speak with Xi on Tuesday, according to a Wall Street Journal reporter. And this is where things got funky. So that was reported around 10:20 this morning. President Trump and China's Xi to talk tariffs today, according to Peter Navarro. He was at a Politico event and everyone's like, whoa, 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 what are you talking about today? All the news we got was sometime soon. And then a little bit after that, Trump tariffs. US President and Xi will not speak Tuesday after China retaliates. Obviously, completely walking back what we just heard being reported from the Wall Street Journal. And this is where I personally got frustrated because intraday, if you were trading, there was a random drop. And then, yeah, we did rally into close, but that drop screwed over a lot of people, obviously. President Trump and his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping will not be speaking on the phone today, a U.S. official said, despite an earlier claim by trade advisor Peter Navarro that they will hold a conversation. The two leaders have spoken before, but a call now would certainly center around Trump's imposition of new tariffs on China. So all these reporters are basically just undoing everything that they're reporting in the morning. That's been the news for basically the past week, and it's absurdly frustrating as a day trader. Trump, it's fine that China imposed retaliatory tariffs, and then when asked, are they going to chat? I will speak with Xi at the appropriate time. I'm in no rush. He's taking a real casual, laissez-faire approach to this, which tells me that he's obviously in the know, that he's coming into the negotiation from a clear position of strength. Just to put a bow on this for all of you, this is, in my humble opinion, I don't have a crystal ball. I can't tell you the future, but in terms of the higher probability situation, I think within this week, maybe next week, but I'm betting on this week, what China is going to do is going to be very similar. It's going to rhyme to the same outcome of China and Mexico. And if you look how in the short term, the market reacted to that, that's going to be nice positive news. And once again, just from where we are with the SPY, I do think it's very fair to say we might be clocking a new all-time high. We'll see how this prediction plays out. Obviously, always respect your downside risk, but this is how I really see things going. Even with the craziness on the day, the Goonie Discord crushed it, made $3,200 myself. Piper fired off a bullish signal at 10:05, 4 out of 5 confidence, which was a 2x multiple. The minimum unit sizing was 326, which returned $74. Obviously, if you agreed with this signal, you could scale it up, but this was just the minimum size. I executed it via SPX, sold at $1, collected my tendies at 35 cents, which means I got a $3,200 return. Or to put that another way, if you agreed with that trade, you would have already paid for 5 years of the service. If this sounds interesting to you, if you're looking for a phenomenal community of like-minded traders, you can join for free for the first month. The link's pinned below in the description below. Just make sure to use that promo code Goonie. This now leads me to what to pay attention to for the remainder of the week. Well, early tomorrow morning, we're going to be getting the ADP non-farm employment change that comes out at 8:15. Then we're going to get some ISM non-manufacturing numbers. Later on this week, normal initial jobless claims on Thursday. And then the big day is Friday, where we're going to be getting the unemployment report. That's definitely going to have an impact on the market. Don't forget, we're also in earnings season. As I alluded to at the start of the video, Palantir absolutely crushed it. Right now, as I'm filming this, AMD, Alphabet, Snapchat, and Chipotle are all going to be reporting tomorrow morning, which in the live show, I'll be going over all this. Uber, Disney, Toyota. So put these on your radar. Later on this week, Qualcomm, ARM, Amazon, Cloudflare, Roblox. Those are all ones that I see you guys talking about in chat. So I just want to call them out to you. And now for the exciting part, as a thank you for making it to this point in the video, I want to talk about a stock. I'm giving this out for free to all of you that I think has a lot of interesting opportunity, and it goes by the name of Tesla. Tesla hitting 48.54 back in December. Since then, lower highs, higher lows, classic consolidation pattern. Now, you might be looking at this consolidation pattern and thinking, what's exciting about that? I know you're taught to trade consolidation patterns. You either wait for the breakout or the breakdown and you play it accordingly. Okay, that's fair. But what if I show you a different set of data that tells me something is going on underneath the hood? Check out the options flow into the close today. So the intraday price action of Tesla was nothing special. A little up, little down, little up, little down. It kind of was just, it was drunk. Wasn't really doing anything. And then all of a sudden the option delta picked up. And right here around 3, the final hour of the day, where the big guys within Wall Street are known to be trading, the options market went absolutely haywire. To be more specific, people started buying calls like no other. They were buying calls for longer duration, but there was quite a bit hitting the tape specifically for this Friday. So I want to put it on your radar because from a technical perspective, yes, lower highs, higher lows, there is an interesting upside gap fill to 401. And then if things get really exciting, we have this trend line breakout, but I just wanted to call this out, put it on your watch list because clearly some serious money is being bet, which makes me think something might be going on. Obviously, I appreciate your time. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you appreciated the video. I'll catch you in the next one tomorrow, or I'll see you in the live stream, but I hope you are bagging some tendies. That's what I have for you now. Love you all.
Peace.